Hello Aries. For some reason I wanted to say bonsoir, but I don't know, maybe it's some of my French viewers or viewers who can speak French, I don't know. But welcome to your January reading with me, Lorien. It's a pleasure to do these readings for you, and let's see what we can get for you for January. So this is a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. If you want a personal reading, the link for that is in the description box below. You can email me, lorientarot@gmail.com, or you can buy me a coffee if you can't afford to do the Patreon or the readings, and that information is down below as well. So 2018, the interesting thing about January is that we have, well, a big start really. We have a full moon on the 2nd, and then we have on the 31st a lunar eclipse. Now, this is going to be quite an interesting one because I believe it's a blue moon because it's the second full moon in a month. It's a super moon, and it's also the eclipse, and it's going to be in Cancer. So this is going to be an incredibly powerful, very big moon event. So I think that this is going to be something with divine feminine, with our emotions, and kind of illuminating things that we have shoved to one side. So if you have a sign in Cancer, that house or that aspect of yourself is going to be illuminated to the max, and it's going to be really interesting. Obviously, this won't probably take into account personal charts and stuff because that would be quite some time. But yes, it's probably worth a look at your personal chart to see where you'll be affected, or I can do that for you if you're not sure where to go to have that done. Let's have a look and see though what Aries has coming for January 2018. What's coming through for Aries in January 2018? This is the Taramuka, and I'm hoping that she has good news for you. Ooh, 6 of Pentacles. Giving, being quite charitable. Yay, new start, new year. The Victory card, brilliant. Queen of Wands. Now, for some of you, it will be you. It will be yourself being very strong. We have the King of Cups here. We have the 3 of Pentacles. And we have the 2 of Wands. You know what? That is not a bad start. That really isn't a bad start at all for the year. It's quite good. And then we have the Hanged Man. So, while it's not a bad start, it could be, for you, I think that you think, well, it could be better. And that's fine. You know, you can move forwards and say, well, I wanted ponies and money and stuff. But this is kind of solid. I mean, what else can you expect January to be? It's the longest month of the year, feels like. People just get quite down because we're still in the middle of winter, even though the sun may be getting brighter in the sky. So it feels a little bit like that. Or for those of you in the southern hemisphere, you may be feeling a bit bummed because summer's nearly over. Stuff like that. But let's have a look and see. You know, I feel that you are going to get something like a reward this month. It could be personal, it could be professional, but it feels like it's a reward. Something that you've been working towards, something that you have been building for yourself. You've put the foundations and you're now in a position where you can give to others. But generally, 6 represents growth, and you have that in abundance here. It feels maybe that you are going into a sort of how to put it, giving mode, a bit of charity, a bit of generosity, helping those that you may feel are a little bit under the weather or aren't as able to perform things as well as you are. And then you also have the King of Cups here. Now, the King of Cups is quite a very emotionally balanced man, or a person in your area anyway, and that feels like he's trying to come through with a sense of wonder, a sense of encouragement. He doesn't really want you to feel outdone, and he's there to kind of build you up where you may be faltering. But he could also be the generous giver. So you could be giving to him and then he gives you a reward. So for instance, it reminds me of the Beauty and the Beast, the start of that film, where the prince is very cruel to that beggar woman and says, no, no, no. And then she reveals herself to be a beautiful enchantress and curses him for as a life as the beast. With this one, it's kind of like you don't care who you help. You know, you don't care who you help, you're giving the help and you're being quite kind. And then he shows himself to be pretty damn important. It's kind of like he casts himself off and he's like, I'm damn important. You've just done a very kind thing for me. Thank you very much. And it kind of leads from there. So you never know who you're helping by giving out these favours. You could just be helping yourself, which isn't a bad thing. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Now, this is quite a strong card. This is about power and victory, but a lot of times it's about separation. So you could be deciding to kind of separate yourself from an aspect of your life, a person, or just an idea that maybe you had and you don't want to hold on to anymore. But you also are showing people how it's done. So this Three of Pentacles is you're learning a new skill, and you're also, you may not even know that you're learning it, but this could be related to teamwork and collaboration of some kind. I feel like you may be going back to the drawing board a little bit and going back a few stages, seeing what else you can learn and what other directions you may have taken if you hadn't have taken the one that you chose. So there's quite a strong connection coming in. So you may be looking at either going somewhere else or trying something new. But either way, it feels like you're kind of reaching the end of the road in regards to one thing in particular. It could be that you took a career move and you're like, or something new coming in. Either way, the Queen of Wands here is a really good card to have. She's quite a stable person, but she can be a little bit skitty, and she can also have this exuberance that comes from her. I think that she brings a lot of beauty and a lot of rest to you. She's thinking quite a lot. I think she's contemplating. Whereas if you can see it on here, you see the correlation between them. Like, you're still holding on to something and you're still figuring out where you're supposed to be. You know, the world is in your hand. You have a lot of possibility, a lot to discover, and maybe it's that you haven't really found that place where you feel at home yet. Things can be good, things can move along quite well, and you may not worry too much about things or dread things too much, but it does feel like you're kind of holding on to something that isn't quite there yet. You may be holding on to a case where you feel kind of limited, and the thing is, you need to put that to one side and move on. You need to put that down, pick up something new and move on. And that could be the start of the year where you're looking at it going, I kind of figure that there's something that we need to do here or that we need to achieve. And I get that this is trying to maneuver it and trying to be something quite positive. And I think that you can truly look at it, but you may be feeling a little bit kind of half and half. You know what I mean? You could be feeling a little bit like he's that sort of feeling maybe where you're kind of half and half. Just that feeling of, I don't know where I'm going, that kind of thing. So let's have a look and see what we can see from the runes. Let's see what they're going to get for me. Okay, so you have Gibo, which is gifts and personal relationships. That, all the way 100%, is this one. This one right here. Excuse me about that. There was an issue with cats downstairs. For those of you who may not know, I rescued a tortoiseshell kitten before she ran out in front of a bus, and I had to pick her up and bring her in, and now it's all over the place. We're trying to integrate her with the other cats, and yeah. So yeah, this is definitely to do with these two here. This is very much to do with the focus of your gift giving, and also maybe the gift of personal relationships that you may not have realised before. But it's definitely the focus, I think, of what is coming through to be quite an interesting and multi-layered January in many ways, because it feels like even though you may be relearning how to do things, maybe relearning how to focus on more of yourself rather than obligation, like you're not just doing things for the sake of it for other people and you're feeling obliged to do it, you're doing it because you want to do it. That's the key, I think. And then there could be, if this was in reverse, there could be an instinct of loneliness and maybe feeling like you're still, even though you're surrounded by people that you like, you could also feel a little bit pushed to one side. So this is about getting back on track for you or starting a new track, either way. But I do think that's quite positive for you. And I really hope that you let me know in the comments below as to what your January looks like. And I hope Christmas treated you very well. But if you do want a reading, link is below, or email me that address there, lorientarot@gmail.com, or you can buy me a coffee. I will be doing more live readings, probably as the months progress. And if you do have any ideas as you want the live sessions to be, just let me know again, and I'll take all the suggestions and see what I can do and make this year to be quite interactive. But I wish you the best of luck. Let me know as always how you go, and I wish you a very pleasant start to 2018.